guys, it's Sue here. Thanks for joining me for a little bit of a mat workout today. Bit of a restorative mat. If you've been feeling a bit of back pain, this mat class here will really just focus on to strengthening deep core muscles, transversus abdominis, pelvic floor multifidus, mobilizing your lower back and your hips, and also strengthening your hips, mainly the glutes. So be mindful of what you're doing in this workout. If there's anything that I'm doing and you think that's not a good option for you on the day, skip it out. There is a little bit of abdominal work in here. I don't think we've quite added in any flexion yet. So I've just added in a little basic chest lift, which is safe for you, but it's just we've never done it before. So I don't think so anyway. So go with the flow. If you've got any questions, just send me a message and we'll cover it. We can talk online or whatever. Okay, so let's start. Hands and knees, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. So I just want you for a second to find the stability through the shoulders. So push the floor away gently so you can feel the connection. Energy goes up through the arm and back into the middle of the back. Set the shoulder blades down and in teeny tiny, but remember it's super subtle. Collarbones nice and long. So take a moment there just to recruit your pelvic floor. Lift your belly up away from the mat just a little bit. Don't overwork it just yet. And we're just going to literally just kind of hinge back and then hinge forward. This exercise is just to help you find neutral, to kind of disassociate the spine and the pelvis from the legs and from the shoulders. So as I'm sitting back, you don't want to round your lower back. It might be an idea to do this side on in a mirror. It's almost like when you're going to a squat or sitting, getting ready to sit down on a chair. You kind of keep lengthening the tailbone away. And just think about what the lower back's doing. It should be staying still. But you can feel the change in the angle of the hip. So as I move back, the front of my hip socket is closing. When you've got a bit of a back pain, it's really important to have really great awareness of neutral spine. The more your pelvis and lower back moves around, the more instability that you have. So although this might seem really basic, it's just a great awareness exercise. We'll do one more. Come back to the middle, and then we're going to do some circular motion. So I'm keeping it neutral. I'm going to shift everything to the right. I'm going to circle around my shoulders and my hips. And again, my back isn't changing. Kind of warming up, getting all that beautiful synovial fluid that lubricates our joints, getting it moving. And we'll do one more this way. And then let's go the other way. Mobilizing the hips. We just talked about that before. Mobilizing the shoulders is always good. I think we did about 5 the other side, so let's do 3 more. And last circle. Juicing up those hips. And then let's just stop back into neutral. If you're feeling your wrist, feel free to come up onto the knuckles. I'm going to just take that option for a moment. So we're just going to stay here, and I just want you to feel your pelvic floor. Don't worry about the stomach. I want you to go 4 points closing with the lift up inside. Lower the pelvic floor. 4 points open and spread apart. Make sure you relax your pelvic floor in between each rep. So joining the 4 points equally, push the floor away with the hands. Lift the pelvic floor up inside a little bit higher towards your belly button. Lower it down. And spread. So we're going to do that just one more time. Now if you're feeling a little bit fuzzy, sleepy in the pelvic floor, you could spend a little bit longer here. because that's really, really important with back pain. You might think you've got reasonable connection, but most of us need to work on it. Then we're going to take that into the tiniest imprint. So you're going to close the 4 points, wait to feel the lifting up, and then I want you to physically pull the tailbone between the legs. The lower tummy is just going to lift up, and if you can see my lower back, it's starting to flatten. I'm not going to go too far, like it's literally a flat back right now as opposed to a neutral back. And then initiate with the pelvic floor, so you need to feel the diamond opening back up, and that's what makes the lower back return to neutral. Now you might need to zoom in here if you can't see a whole lot of movement going. Close, lift, roll the tail between the legs. The pubic bone is moving tiny little bit towards the breastbone. You can see my lower back is now flat. There's no dip through the middle. Open the diamond, getting used to initiating with the diamond. Mega, mega important. We're going to do that one more time. Close, lift, then move the spine. Really gentle. Now you can make this a little bit bigger if it feels nice. I'm just being really super cautious today because I don't know where your back's at right this moment. Come back to neutral. So we go happy puppy. So we keep neutral. I'm not going to go flat back. Definitely not going to go extension. I'm just going to wag my tail. So I'm going to look around to my left butt cheek, and I can feel a stretch down the right side of my waist right now. Again, you can make this as big or as little as you feel like you need to. It's definitely a side-to-side movement of the spine. But stretching that tight QL muscle, that tight muscle that runs at either side of your lower back. And I can feel it into my ribs as well, my obliques, the muscles at the front, the opposing muscles of the lower back. They're really tight on my body, so I probably should do this a bit more often, but it's nice and gentle. And take your time, like don't rush through this stuff. Really therapeutic. One more each way. Stabilizing the shoulder girdle, good for shoulder strength. If you don't do a lot of upper body work to be here for a while. Left side. Bring it back to the middle. Awesome. Okay, let's take ourselves onto our back. We're just going to open and mobilize the hips because there's a chance that they're really tight. So I'm just going to bend my knees, pull my knees into my chest, grab the shins just under your kneecap. Your arm's going to do all the work. So I want your legs, just give your legs a little shake. I want your legs to feel like jelly. And we're going to do big circles with your arms. So here's a big inside thigh stretch, and my hips are grinding. I can feel lots of crunching, which tells me they need a little bit more love. And there's no set breath pattern. None of that, just circle with your arms. So normally do about 8 on each side. My thighs want to feel really heavy into the back of the hip socket. So the back of my pelvis feels really grounded and anchored onto the mat. I'm not letting myself move my lower back around. Especially as you circle the thighs, as the knees are the furthest away from you. Watch you don't go into that extension. Let's reverse our circle. Let's go around, we go 8. Make your circle as big as you can. Press the backs of the knees towards the floor. Pull the knees into the chest. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. My arms are getting a little bit of a workout here. And 7. My wrist muscles. And one more 8. All right, well done. I'm going to roll up my mat because we're going to go some leg slides, some knee openings, all that jazz. Okay, so let's just take a moment. Print your start position. Are the heels definitely in line with the sit bones? I see lots of people making the mistake of them having a little bit wide. Put your hands on your hip bones. So we're just going to take a few breaths to activate transversus abdominis a little bit deeper now. So yeah, you can do the pelvic floor, you can do it separately, add it in. Whatever you feel like your body needs, really take your time here. So I'm going to breathe in, and I'm going to breathe out for the count of 6, and I'm going to see if I can feel my transversus wrapping and my pelvic floor lifting at the same time. Let's go. Let's breathe in for 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale for 6. I'm going to do that 3 times. Inhale. Open the ribs. Exhale. Make those ribs feel heavy. One more breath. And I'm just starting to bring awareness into my feet. So I want to feel grounded through the sole of my foot. Because now as I breathe in, I'm going to open my right knee, but my inner eye is on my hip bone. So now I can feel my deep core muscles. They have to activate a little bit extra, otherwise these bones are going to rock around. You've got to let the hip go. Relax the thigh, let the hip flexor go, and then breathe out, collect your pelvic floor. So the sit bones pulling together is what makes the thigh come back to the ceiling. Inhale, stabilize through the right leg. Relax the left thigh, activate. Don't rock. If you feel a tiny shift on the back of your sacrum, you've gone too far. Breathe out. Pull the stomach, bring it home. Let's do that once, one more time. Inhale to open. So I want you to visualize that thigh, that ball and socket, that kind of ball turning inside the socket really easily, without any stickiness. Open. Now we go leg slides. Now your attention is on your lower back. Slide the right leg along the floor. Pull in deeper. This is an inhale. You should not feel your stomach rising. Exhale. I want you to feel your belly pulling flat. Pin it to your lower back to bring the leg back. I think my foot's disappearing out of vision, but you know what I'm doing. I'm just sliding my foot across, down the carpet. My back's not arching. Weight, collect. Don't use the shoulders. Drag it home. One more each way. Now I'm going to get really slow pace today, because this is to build up your awareness. I want your technique to be 110% spot on. Especially if you're having a little episode of a flare up. So we're going to bring it back now. Let's go into the combo. Hands back on the hip bones. Open the right knee. Watch out. Let the hip flexor go. You might want to put your hand in the thumb in the hip. Socket. Check it soft. Let the knee open. Now work your opposite stabilizing side. Slide the leg along the floor till it's straight. If you can, kneecap goes to the ceiling. Drag it back. Alternating. Open. I'm picking up the pace a little bit. But be careful, as soon as you pick up that pace a tiny little bit, little cheats start happening. Those tiny little cheats that you might think are okay to do it, but they're not. That's the difference between creating more strength or just staying at the same place. Use the breath. Last one. Drag it back, single leg lift, float the leg up, one leg at a time, don't change the back. Place it back down. So just watching out that the back doesn't go into a tiny, minuscule bit of extension to pick up the knee. So yeah, I can feel quite a bit of work now. I can feel my obliques, the muscles at the side of my waist. I have to really concentrate on transversus abdominis though, that deep one. One more each way. And last side on the left leg. I'm going to unroll my mat, actually. So let's progress this into a leg arc. Float the leg up, extend the leg, and then without your back arching, keep that leg as long as you can. Send it all the way to the floor. Check what the pelvis is doing. Drag it home. Same side. Float, straighten. If anything, on the way up, straightening the knee might take your pelvis into a tiny bit of flexion. The lower back might move a little bit to the mat. I'm not worried about that, but on the way down, really zip up so that you're not changing into extension. So we're just going to do, how many was that? 3? Let's go to 5. 4. Last one here. 5. Let's swap legs. Pull the stomach in. Extend. You might give yourself a hamstring stretch here. Send it long. So just be careful here. Make the leg feel as long as you can. Let the upper body go. I know my upper body works too hard here. 3. 4. If you push the right foot into the floor, you're going to feel your hamstring. We like that. We want to stay out of the quad. Was that our last one? Let's do one more for luck. And then we're going to take it into a little leg circle. So float your right leg up. Let's keep it really little though. So keep the knee straight. If you're like feeling your back, just bend the knee and see how that goes. Press the arms into the floor, palms down. My hands are at a low diagonal. I'm pushing my shoulders back into the floor. Take the right leg across your body. Take it down a little bit. Don't go too low to the floor. Now here's the tricky part. Take it out to the side. Work hard like you did for the knee openings. Back to the middle. Across. Breathe out as you go down. Breathe in to stay. 3. We'll go 5. Now, if you feel yourself moving a little bit, I need your circle to be teeny tiny, like precision. Now we're going to reverse our circle. Stabilize through your shoulders. You should be able to feel it now. You probably don't need your hands on your stomach for too much. And 3. Yes, you'll feel the hip flexor a little bit here. That's okay. 4. And 5. Bend the knee. Let's swap. Float it up. Don't change the back. Bring it across. 1. Oh, now my left side doesn't want to behave as much as my right one. 2. That's interesting. This side is weaker. And 3. 4. Stabilize through the right foot. It makes it a hell of a lot easier. 5. Other way. Remember in Pilates it's a lot about what's not moving rather than what's moving. And 2. Pelvis. Lower back. 3. And 4. Last one. 5. Bend the knee, come down. Unroll your mat. We're going to go into, we're going to go into imprint pelvic curls. So check your feet. Breathe out, rock your pelvis backwards. You're going to open your lower back into the mat. And then inhale, come back to neutral. So again, it's super small. Don't change the shoulders. We'll just do 3. And feel the bones tipping. 1 more. So the pubic bone moves a little bit up towards the breastbone. And then bring it home. Let's go all the way up. Don't change the shoulders. Let's rock it back. Engage through the glutes. So here's my wrap. I'm peeling my spine. I'm pushing my feet into the floor. Don't push up with your back muscles. If this doesn't feel good, skip it out. You could just completely skip this section if you need to. Inhale to hold at the top, and then exhale, roll. Tuck your tail, roll down, massage through the lower back. Let's do that just 2 or 3 more times. Exhale, roll it up. You might only want to lift a little bit. You might just want to stop so the top of your pants is still on the mat. Or you could go a little bit higher, just a little bit. Make sure you're not going into extension. I want you to keep that awareness of the connection of ribs, front floating ribs to pelvis, and trying to mobilize that back. 2 to go. Using the breath, using the pelvic floor, using the hamstrings, using the glutes, using your core, all of that. Let's do one more. Bring it back down. Stop at the bottom. So bring your legs together, flex your feet. Take your hands a little bit wider. Let's go spine twist. Inhale, take your knees across. Be mindful of how far you want to go initially. Exhale, pull it back. Inhale over. I'm just moving with a little bit of a quicker pace now. Feels really nice. If it doesn't feel nice, you skip it out. 1 more each way. Last one. Okay, so back into neutral, feet apart. So we're going to go into a basic chest lift now. So from here, you're going to take your breath in, you breathe out, you pull your stomach flat. I want you to engage the back of the leg a little bit. Still feel soft in the hip flexor. Slide your fingers towards your heels. That makes your head peel up. And we're going to just look towards your belly button. Pull it in as flat as you can. Stay there for a moment, and what you should feel is that the pelvis hasn't gone anywhere, but you can feel the lower back has opened almost up into the mat. Feel the stomach muscles. If you can, reach a little bit higher so you really switch on that rectus abdominis, and then pull the stomach in as you control back down. So we're going to do that 5 more times. Breathe in. If this pain stopped, breathe out. Hold your belly flat. Do not let the belly rise as you lift your head off. If your belly's rising, you've come too high with your head. You might just lift your chin off, lift your back of your head off. But we're going to keep sliding those fingers. Reach, 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 reach. Hold, hold, hold. Pull the stomach in as you come back down. And again. Pelvic floor. 3 to go. Control the lowering. It's easy to splat. 2 more. Yes, I can feel my neck a little bit. If it's screaming, put one hand behind your head to rest your neck muscles. Last one. Lift, lift, lift. Don't move the pelvis. Gently control it back down. Okay, onto your side. Let's do the glute series. So wall glutes, but not against the wall, or you could go against the wall if you want to. Check that your spine is in the right position. Line up with the back of your mat. Put the top hand on the hip. Send it away, lift the leg up. So I'm kind of coming up so you can see my whole body here. And the leg is forward and bent underneath one. All right, so here we go. I'm just gonna make sure my leg is floppy, and then make my kneecap, try to internally rotate, face the floor as much as I can. I don't want to be locked out and straight. You'll feel it too much in your ITB. Here it should be soft. You can feel if you put your hand and just give it a little squeeze, and then we go from here. So let's go. Pull the stomach in. It's about the stomach, the obliques, the glute med here. The muscle we're working will happen by itself. 3. Exhale, lift 4. Make sure your has for the mouse. 5, 6, 7, we're going to 10, 8, I'm pretty sure you've done this plenty of times, 9, one more, 10, hand on the floor, take it forward, lift it up. Think of those hinges we did right at the start on our hands and knees. That's why it was super important. Building up awareness into hip disassociation. 4, 5, and 6, and 7. Keep rolling the kneecap in. 8, and 9. One more, 10. Take the leg forward, 15 drops. 1. Use your hand to feel your abs. 5 to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to be really cruel and make you do circles here. Little circles. 1, 2, relax the neck. 3, should be feeling it here. 4, 5, let's do 6 forward, 6 back. Stability. 1, don't move the pelvis. 2, 3, the lower back needs this. 4, 5, one more, 6. Jeez, that was torture. Okay, give that leg a little slap. Yep, let's stretch both legs out. 2 long legs. Float the top hand to the ceiling. We're going to lift both legs off the floor if you can. If that's too much, go just top leg. But if we can do a double, that would be beautiful. You don't have to lift it high. Take a breath in. Breathe out, zip up. Feel the front of the body, the wrap of the obliques, the lift of the pelvic floor, the inside thigh on the underneath leg, and lower it down. We're doing 8. 2. You can see I'm not shortening the top waist at all. And 3. And 4. 5. How are we going? Good. 6. 7. One more. 8. Okay, up onto the elbow. Side support, you know what's coming. Lift up through the waist. If you need to tuck your tail between your legs, almost flatten out the lower back, do that. Heads on the diagonal, lift the hip, stay, wrap the glute, imprint, lift the pelvic floor. Let's take the hand behind the head actually. We're gonna bring the shoulder, the elbow forward, back to square. 1, we do it 6 times. And 2. 3, think of pushing the floor away with the outside hip. 4, don't be content down here. 5, one more, 6, good job, well done. So we're going to do the whole thing on the other side. Get set up for the glutes. Give the top leg a little shake. Find your pelvis, find your long waist, and then roll the knee in. Here we go. 1, 2. The more you try to turn that knee in, the more it's going to target that glute straight away. If it's parallel, yeah, you still feel it. Yeah, but it burns more, that internal rotation. 7, 8, 9, watch the pelvis. 10, take it forward. 1, breathe out. 2, 3, and 4, and 5, and 6. Now watch out with the pace because I just felt my lower back swing a little bit. 7, use your control. 8, 9, one more. 10, take it forward, let's bounce it. 15, breathe out, pull the stomach in. 5 to go. Now really pull up through the underneath waist, do your circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh Bernie burn, 6, reverse, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oh, definitely give it a bit of a slap. Let's go 2 straight legs, top arm up, as quickly as we can, zip up, find your connection, here we go, breathe out, lift the legs. And back down. Now remember, you don't have to lift that leg high, even if you just lift it off a little bit, like a couple of centimeters, centimeter even. So I want you to think about right now the balance and muscle connection. The front of the body versus the back of the body, are they equal, or is one side of your body more dominant than the other? They should be absolutely equal. So yes, the back will engage a little bit extra here. Especially if you lift the legs higher, you will start to feel that lower back do a bit more work, which is okay. Because remember, we do have to still strengthen that muscle. It just needs to be balanced. 4 to go. And 3. And 2. And 1 more. And then what did we do? I think we came straight up on the elbow, didn't we? Yeah, okay, here we go. Elbow under shoulder, hand behind the head, lift the hips, and stay. Tuck your tail if you need to. We do 6 of these. Elbow comes forward, 1. Push the floor away. 2, if this is too easy, don't forget, you can always have your legs straight. Or maybe next time. And 4. This lateral stuff is so important for your back pain. So you could even just do all that sideline stuff as a little bit of extra a couple of times a week. Okay, awesome. So from here, we are going to go, let's go back onto hands and knees. I'm nearly done with you. Wrists under shoulders, just waking up the abs a little bit more. So my toes are tucked under, you can see. So I'm pressing my hands down. Push the floor away. I'm going to tuck my tailbone, my tail a little bit between my legs to protect my lower back, and then I'm going to breathe out and just lift your knees off. Count to 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Back down. I'm going to do that a few times. And tuck, lift. 2 to go. So you can see my knees are just a few inches off the floor. Don't lift them too high. Last one. Switch the abs on, switch on the glutes. Awesome job. Okay, I'm gonna get you to stand up from here. We're nearly done with you, I promise. Cool, so I've just grabbed a fit ball. If you've got one of these, use it. If you don't stress about it too much. You can just do the old faithful wall sit, sliding down into your chair and holding for 60 seconds. But if you've got a ball, come with me, because we're going to work on, again, stabilizing the back of the hip as well as the quads and strengthening quadratus femoris. So if you don't know what that is, you can either Google it or let me know and I'll see if we can find an anatomy diagram. So I've got the ball beside or touching my lower back. Feet forward like you would do for a normal wall sit. Spine nice and long and tall. Zip up, collect everything. Hands on the hips to check their level. I'm going to sit down into my squat. So I'm down at 90 here. So I've got equal pressure on both feet. So all I'm going to do here is just shift all of my weight to my right foot only. I've still got my left foot down, but it's not much weight on it. Come back to both feet. I'm going to stay down into that squat and do that 10 times. So that's 2, 3, and 4. And you can feel a little bit of extra shake. If you put your hand on your butt, you can feel that extra tightening. 6 and 7, that's where we want to work. Strengthen the hips. And 8 and 9. I'm going to do just one more. 10. You'd want to build this up to 30 each side, by the way. So just stay there. I'm just going to give my legs a little shake. Go back down. Let's do the other side. Here we go. I'm in the middle. I'm going to my left leg. Back to middle. 1. And 2. 3. Legs are shaking. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Switch the abs on. 9. It's your last one. 10. Oh, push up. Well done. Drop the ball. Just give your legs a little bit of a shake. I'm going to leave you to do your own stretches. Stretch out the glutes, stretch out the hamstrings, stretch out anything else that you feel like you need to, and then you're done. I'll catch you soon. Thanks for joining me. Bye.